We call them micro rotating stores.
I'm not a believer in the pop-up store situation.
For better or worse, it makes sense for retailers.
I hate pop-ups.
Hi, I'm Lauren Schramm with Commercial Observer. Love them or hate them, pop-ups are here to stay. While the holiday season may be over and you may be thinking that the stores are packing up their Christmas and Hanukkah gear and storing it away for next season, that's not the case anymore. Pop-ups are a year-round phenomenon. Take Vrai Oro, for example. The Los Angeles-based jewelry store decided to enter the New York City market with a 17-day pop-up store last month. They spent 2 days converting a 400 square foot space at 252 Mott Street into a custom space of their very own. So why are pop-ups so in demand? Well, they're a deal that can work out for landlords and tenants.
The term pop-up at one point was truly pop-up. What I think we're now looking at is a revised leasing strategy called short-term leasing.
Right now we've seen landlords, I'm not going to say the name, giving us free spaces in order for these spaces to be promoted, bring foot traffic, vibrant brands, in order for the space to be reactivated. So sometimes we have landlords who want to activate a street or a retail space, and they say, hey, why don't you bring very sexy brands and let's give them the space for free, you know? If it can bring bloggers, journalists, and foot traffic, we might find a financial reward on the long term, you know.
But the activity, I will tell you, in the last several months has really picked up. A lot of Europeans coming in to test the waters and doing what we call pop-up stores in some of the major areas like Soho, Madison Avenue, Fifth Avenue, with the idea of staying long-term. So many of our leases are being created for 1 or 2 year short terms with the extension to stay for another 10 years or 15, depending upon what the retailer needs.
It's temporary fix for a landlord to rent their space, basically.
It does add up from a rent perspective when you aggregate it all together over the course of a year. And to it also, it's a low capital cost for a retailer who wants to do something interesting. And so as opposed to spending millions of dollars on opening a brand new store, you can spend a reasonable amount of money and have a presence for 6, 12 months, whatever it might be, test it. If it works, you could always expand into a full store. But most importantly, it's about energizing the space and creating activity. And so we're very design focused on those pop-ups because of that.
While the consequences of a mismatched pop-up with the space are far less dire than in a long-term lease, they're still not easy, and there's an art to doing them.
Storefront is making money with a 1 day or 15 days pop-up shop, but the reality is that we need to make 10, 20, 30, 100 pop-up shops on a regular basis in order to make money. You know, this is where the business model is completely changing, you know.
Initially, we'd actually purchased some freestanding kiosks of our own for brands to plug into, but what we realized was it just didn't come across right. The brands you just didn't feel the design and the energy from just kind of all looking the same. And so now we have a lot of the retailers design their own kiosks.
Well, as a broker, you can't make money with pop-ups.
From Commercial Observer, I'm Lauren Schramm. See you next month.